All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this first essay. You can see the topic here. Some parents believe that reading entertainment books is a waste of time for children and that they should only read educational books. What is your opinion? All right, so it's a fairly simple kind of opinion question. I'm going to go ahead and start by looking through the grammar, and I'll try to speed this up in the video so that you don't have to watch me very slowly fixing all the grammar things in here. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Okay, so that takes care of the grammar here. Just to kind of go through and highlight some grammar that is particularly important to focus on. I'm just going to notice the sentences that have a problem with the overall sentence construction, I guess. So, in these two cases, subject verb, I disagree. And then you have another subject verb, this essay, right? So two separate ideas, two separate subjects and verbs. You need to use a conjunction there. Same thing here. Every book contains, and then allowing youngsters will help them, right? Another thing is when you use not only but also. Let's see here. Where is the first one? Here. Not only but also. You tend to add this extra subject here, which is not really necessary. Where is the other one? Here we go. Yep. All right, and then let's see, there's one other thing. You've used be going to a few times here, and you really want to change that to will. Okay, be going to is more useful for plans, but if you're making a prediction or something a little more academic, you want to use will rather than be going to. And I think I've mentioned this in your introductions before. Try not to say that I will explain, but say the essay will explain. This essay will explain, etc. Just putting a little bit of distance between you as the writer, between you and your essay. It's okay for you to express your opinion, but you don't really want to refer to yourself as a writer. It's just not a very academic way to express yourself in writing. Okay, and then there's a variety of other individual things that that you can look at, but yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the kind of red text here so that you can see a little more clearly, and we can go through the logic of the essay, which actually there's some issues with the logic here. Okay, so the introduction is good. This essay will explain why it is important to let children read every type of book. Okay, and you started here. This is a good idea. Talk about the advantage of academic books. The problem is I don't think there's any question that reading academic books is beneficial. Okay, I think that's a pretty obvious point. I think I would rather you focus on this idea here. Reading books is a waste of time for children. Okay, so reading entertainment books is a waste of time for children. Why would some parents think that way? Right? We don't really have that idea expressed here, and I would rather see you take this first paragraph, this first body paragraph, and explain why some parents think reading entertainment books is a waste of time. Okay, so you've focused on the advantage of educational books. I don't think that's the best approach there. Just because it's so obvious, that's not really debatable. Of course educational books are valuable, but why do some parents not think entertainment books are valuable? And then if we look through the kind of sentences here, let's look through this paragraph one sentence, kind of sentence by sentence. So on the other hand, I strongly believe that reading novels can help children to expand the horizon of their creativity and imagination. It also enables them to choose a career based on their interest. So you actually have two ideas here. So a two-idea paragraph, this is not how I suggest structuring that. You don't want two topic sentences right away. Okay? So you may want to check out that the video lesson on the website about the two-idea paragraph. If there are two ways that reading novels can help children, you want to use that two-idea paragraph structure. Okay? And that does not involve both ideas being put out at the beginning. You didn't really expand on this idea of creativity and imagination. Right? You immediately went to your next point. Right? Give a little time to expand on this idea. It also enables them to choose a career based on their interest. To me, that suggests that it's kind of a strange logic there, because I don't know, maybe 5 to 10% of children want to become writers in the future. So this argument really only applies to 5 or 10% of children, right? So the way that you phrase that is a little bit strange to me. And then this example with J.K. Rowling and George R.R. Martin, I don't really know what that's proving, right? Is that proving that some writers are successful? It doesn't really seem to be a point that needs to be proven with an example. It seems like kind of a waste of space in this paragraph. And there's some extra detail here. Popular among every age group. Why is that important, right? Is that related to your argument? I don't really see that. And then here, in my view, every book contains a message. Okay, that's an idea, but it's an idea that you don't expand on at all. It just seems like you kind of threw that in there, but there's no explanation of why that is important. What kind of message are you talking about? How does that help children? Right? Allowing youngsters to read books according to their preference will not only help them to relax, that's another new idea, but also help them develop good reading habits. There's another new idea. So it seems like here you've got 4 advantages, right? Creativity and imagination, choose a career based on their interests, which I'm not sure if that totally makes sense, contains a message, helps them to relax, and helps them to develop good reading habits. So that's 5 advantages, but it's structured in a very random way. You really only have space for 1 or maybe 2 ideas in one paragraph, and then you need to go into detail and explain that more thoroughly. Okay, so you're kind of all over the place here with this body paragraph. And then conclusion. So to conclude, while educational books play a significant role in the overall development of children, limiting them to educational books will only affect their cognitive ability in a rather negative way. This is kind of a little confusing. Limiting them will affect their cognitive ability in a negative way. I'm not sure what part of the body paragraphs you're referring to there. So this is supposed to be the summary, but I don't think you ever mentioned how cognitive ability would be affected in a negative way if they don't read novels. Just doesn't quite add up. I'm not seeing that in the body paragraphs. And then I hope in future parents will encourage their children to read books according to their interest. That's a good way to finish it. So the logic is a little bit all over the place here. Things are not really connected very well. You've got kind of too many ideas in one body paragraph, and I think you chose the wrong idea to focus on in this body paragraph A. Okay, so getting into the score, overall, I don't think you're going to get anything higher than 6s for both of these categories. The ideas just didn't really fit together. You may even be looking at a 5 for cohesion and coherence. Yeah, some of these specific grammar mistakes related to the way your sentences connect, those ones that I highlighted there, that's going to be a bit of an issue. And then, of course, just the way these body paragraphs fit together didn't quite work, and body paragraph B in particular, the ideas were not organized in the way that I recommend. I feel like you're going away from the strategies that are presented in the course. We kind of started our kind of training path here using those video courses, and I don't really see, especially in your body paragraph organization, I don't see you using those strategies. Okay, so try to stick to the 1 idea paragraph or the 2 idea paragraph. Follow that model. You're going to see a lot higher scores there, and it'll be much easier for you to stay on target. Now, grammar and vocabulary, yeah, unfortunately, just too many mistakes to get anything above 6s for that. You've got enough good vocabulary, it's just too many vocabulary mistakes to overcome that kind of 6 barrier that's been kind of keeping you down for a little while. Okay, so overall a 6, definitely not your best effort. This topic seemed to give you a little bit more trouble than I expected it would.